Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm so excited because I've been able to do some crafting in my new craft room today and thought I'd do a video so you can see what I've been up to. So this is the first video in my new craft book. I've been making these little matchbook notebooks. Aren't they pretty? They've got things on the back as well. Ephemera on the back. So I thought I would show you how I've made them, in particular this one. I've been inspired by so many artists, Ooh La La, Robin Dudley Howes, The Girl on the Ridge, Artie Mays, just to name a few. There's just so many. Nearly every artist does their take on, paper artist does their take. So I'm going to make this one. And at the end of the video, I will show you each one of these so you can have a look at them. Okie dokie. So without further ado, let's get started. Hello, and here we are in my craft room. This is the first video I'm doing from in here. So let me show you what I've got ready here to make the little matchbook holders. So I've got some ephemera from the Tim Holtz ephemera pack. Let's just sort of give you an idea of size there. You can see on my hand. So some lovely ones. I've picked them out in the colours that I want. And I've done that because the more things you put out, the more difficult it is to decide what to do. And you end up with a very, very messy workplace. Here are some scraps that I've chosen. Again, colours that all blend together. I've chosen my scraps of fabric and I've just popped these. I love this. I found this while I was out doing a little bit of mudlarking, and I know it's broken, but I think it is ever so pretty and can tell such an amazing story. So there are my scraps. Here is my dish with my scissors. Let's use my ruler as a pointer. Distress ink, dabber, little stapler, prick stick. I've got my glue here. Here's my bone folder. To go with my glue, I've got an old makeup brush to use for my glue. This is an old paste pot. Isn't it pretty? Vintage paste pot. I have got some flashcards, and I've selected words toys, teas, thanks, school and is, because these matchbook holders that I'm making are going to be for my Water Babies journal. And here is my vintage tin. I've only got one hand. And my vintage tin, in this one, are buttons with threads on, because I do like a button with a thread. It tells such a great story. So these are my threadies. I'm becoming so organised. I've got my thready tins there. I've even, let me show you this, I've even sorted out my scraps, my big scraps, my sort of grease paper scraps of card from packaging, long thin scraps, small scraps, and another scraps hanger there, and another scraps hanger there. I am becoming scrap obsessed. Oh, and to top everything off, I've got my very, very English, British cup of tea. So, without further ado, let's begin. I was so excited to do my video from in here that I actually forgot to turn the video on. So I'm this far into it. But what I'm going to do now is start that bit again. So basically, I chose a Edith holder. I'm tearing because I like tearing. Folded in half. Used my very old ruler to tear that because my metal rulers are somewhere in the house, in the craft room. So I need to just find them. So I wanted the writing to be the right way up inside. So what I did was, because I want wildflowers found in wildflowers there, whereas this one says wild birds, I tore that off. Then I got this, and yeah, I'm just making sure I'm getting everything the right way up. I got this. I was inspired by a few people to do this. I was inspired by Ooh La La. I was inspired by Laura Girl on the Ridge. I've been inspired by Gail Agostinelli. I've been inspired by so many crafters because I watched so many crafting videos. So I popped those together. I did my little fold up on the bottom, and then my top fold up needs to come slightly longer than the bottom, like that, just slightly longer so it can tuck in. And this little bit I've left here because I could not work out how to get it the right way up. I don't know if I'm having some sort of crazy reaction to having my own beautiful outdoor craft room now. I don't know. So I just love being in the outdoor craft room. I suggested to my husband about 5 years ago to do this outdoor craft room. He said no. It was an unused part of the garden. Right, here we go. This is vintage photo distress ink from Tim Holtz. I'm just going to distress around there. So I suggested let's have a craft room outside. No. So he put me in the study overlooking the front garden and all the neighbours' houses, and I really didn't like that, but I was grateful. Then I needed a bigger room. We had a spare room because family were moving out, etc. So he moved me into the slightly bigger room, which overlooked the back garden, and I did like that. Got some lovely patina on there anyway. So I didn't really like that, but I did it. Anyway, he himself had the amazing idea about 3 months ago. He said, why don't I build you a log cabin? It's now that he's retired, you see, he's looking for things to do. Why don't I build you a log cabin? So I praised him on his amazing idea. There we go. So I've caught up now. I hope you followed along with that. So I praised him. I said, what an amazing idea you've got. Oh, how fantastic. So now I'm in the garden, overlooking. I can have my doors open, but I've closed them because he's still messing around out there. And I just overlook the garden and nobody overlooks me, and it's absolutely lovely. So there we are. We're at the same stage for both of those. Now these, as I said, are for my Water Babies journal. So all this has been picked specifically. So now I'm going to put some papers inside here. Okie dokie. So I paused the video, let the cat out, and then thought I'd put it back on and it hadn't. So there's my papers in there. So I'm going to show you. Luckily we have the second spare one, don't we? So literally what I did, got my papers, made sure they're the right size. So these are all different just scrappies, you know, that we collect. 2, 3, oh, that's got some a flower on it there. Let's put it that way up. 3, put about 7 in, I think. All different sizes, put at different angles, etc. 4, that's a plain piece. Let's just tear off there. So it doesn't matter what size, to me it doesn't matter what size they are, whether they're laid the same way. Let's just follow that there. As long as they fit in. some pattern paper. Oh no, this is vintage order paper. So we'll put those in. Those will look nice. There's actually 7, but because those are so thin, I'm just going to put another piece in. Oh, that'll look nice on top. There, like that. Like that's Smiko dyed. So then what I did is I got my trusty stapler, which I bought at a vintage flea market, and I made sure I got lots of packets of the staples to go with it. Then I literally went across and stapled 1, 2. So this is a mini stapler. You can use any stapler, and then that will fall down and just tuck nicely into there. So that's what I did. I'm going to come back to the one I'm working on. I've stuck a piece of this paper tape measure. Now I'm sure I got this at IKEA, whatever it's called now. So I've tore it, inked it, and just added it to the front there. It does overlap a little bit on this side, but that adds to the beauty. So that will just tuck inside there. So now I'm up to the front bit, and this is some vintage christening robe, part of, and I'm going to put this on here. Now let's just tear a piece. And I want it a little longer. Just snip it down. Probably need to just, oh no, I can tear that. There we go. So that is going to look lovely there, and I'm just going to gather this up onto there. So let's get the PVA, which is the Alma's glue, pop that on. Let's make it pretty, and put this on the front, just scrunched up. Just hold that for a second. Does anybody not like getting glue on the hands? Comment below. I love getting glue on my hands. When I was at school, I used to sort of put it on my hands, only so that I could peel it off, you know, when it had dried. So I'm going to stick a piece of pattern paper. Oh, this is nice. It says stitching line. I'm going to put a bit more glue on top of that. On top of it. That's helping to hold it down. And I'm going to scrunch this, scrunchy winchy, and I'm going to put that on the top. So what you're doing now is your layers. Oh, sticking to my finger and tearing the pattern paper. Doing our layers. So important. I'm going to tear that a little bit. Ooh, stretch my fingers. There we go. There we go. See some of the dye off the vintage christening robe is coming through. There we go. I just needed to have a little drink. So what we're going to then put on here. So I do actually love this butterfly. Let's have a look. I do like this. Oh, it's too big. Butterfly. Little stamps. We've got a 3 - 3 because the water babies is actually starts in school. There, we could put some stamps there, couldn't we? And we could put some like specimen across. No, I don't like a 3 - 3 there. I'm sorry. This is like a library. Oh, I prefer that. I prefer a library. Do you get it where all of a sudden you can just sort of see it in your own head? You're messing around putting things on and then just all of a sudden it just comes together. So we're going to put a library on. I'm going to put a butterfly on. Let's do our butterfly. And I'm just going to build up the layers, what I think looks pretty. Right, let's just get some of this glue on the back of here. That can go down there. Oh, it actually is from a school, I think, because it says Bangor County Primary. I'm sure that, well, CP. CP in this country would mean county primary, as in a county primary school. Butterfly, flutter by. I planted some wild meadow turf in my back garden. Well, I didn't. No, I chose it. Hubby laid the turf, and the amount of butterflies and bees and insects we've had in my garden this year has been incredible. I actually love how that ink has sort of seeped through onto that paper. There we go. And then do we put a little stamp on? Do we put this colour, or actually should we put a green one on? I think the green. So I'm going to not cut these. I'm going to tear one off. You'll see a pattern going through my crafting in that I do not like to cut things. So if I get a wonky tear, I get a wonky tear, and it adds to the interest, it all adds to the texture. I'm loving this craft room, I'm so excited. I just want to be in it all the time. I woke up early, and I thought, oh, shall I go in the craft room? And I didn't. But tomorrow I think I might do if I wake up the same. Let's pop that stamp there. Should we just slide it under the butterfly? No, put it on top of the butterfly there. Come bring it down a bit. Oops. Let's just give that a little press down. Actually, I should press it with my ball folder, shouldn't I? There we go. That is looking beaut. And then I could always put this, number 814, up there. So, can you see, it took me a little bit of time to plan this out. If I'd have had loads of everything out, then what a disaster. Because like, I would still be umming and ahhing my way through, and my table would be an absolute mess. I'm putting it under that line of letters there, because the Edith Holden letters are so beautiful. This is the Tim Holtz ephemera pack. It cost me $8.49 because I bought it in America earlier this year. So it's the Tim Holtz Ideology 136 pieces of ephemera. I love it. Love it, Tim. Right, so we've got that. So do we want to do something across the bottom here? Oh, upside down. We could just pop one of those on there if we want to. We could quite like that. Oh, that one. Put that one on. Oh, I wish I could just keep going back to America about every 6 months or so. Well, no. Let me rephrase that. About every 3 months to just pick up new Tim Holtz, because we just do not have the selection here. Yes, you can order online, but I love to see it all and choose what I wanted, you know, through sight and touch as opposed to just looking online. And plus, when we get it here, it's just a little bit behind the United States. So there's the front. Oh, sorry. And there's a little notebook inside. You can decorate this if you want to do. Shall we put a piece on? Yeah, I think we will actually. I don't want to cover up the Edith Holden writing, so I'm just going to take a little piece of paper. Let's take a little bit of my glue. Still plenty on my, it's not Ted Baker, but Bobby Brown, by the way. These were bought in Thailand, so they are fake. I'm going to pop that on there. There. And I'm going to put another little stamp in inside. Let's put one of these purple ones in. Yes, so we went to this in Bangkok. What's it called? The Tuk, something like that. It's the biggest market I've ever been on, and they sold absolutely everything, and you could just get a huge carton crate and just have it all sent home, which I would have loved to have done, but sometimes I think, well, is it actually gonna come home? There we go. So that closes there. So on the back here, I want to put one of these flashcards. So let me see. I think they're all the same size, aren't they? Yes. Do we want teas, toys, thanks, is, or school? I'm going to put is, because what I'm going to do, I haven't got any of my cutters. I haven't got any of my cutters, you know, to like round corners or anything like that. So I'm going to have to cut this off about here. I'm no good at cutting straight lines. Keep that. Let's just go around here. When I was a little girl at school, I used to adore flashcards. Did you like doing flashcards? But I was always in like the top reader group. I was reading. My mum said I was like, she's never known me not to be able to read, which I find a bit surprising. You know, I sat in my cot there, sat in my pram, newborn, with my book. Right, so that is going to go there. So I just want, and this is peeping at me, a pocket to put that in. And that will fit perfectly, won't it? I don't know what paper this is from. It's just out of my scrap stash. So I'm going to rejig my tiny little scraps that I'm not sure whether I'll be able to use again here. In fact, I can use that one. So my tiny little scraps are here, and my more usable ones are over here. I don't know, I've just suddenly become organised. It just must be the new room. It's just so exciting. I'm able to like just lay things out and have different projects easily accessible. I've not even got a quarter of my furniture in yet. So I am going to now just go down the edge here with my elms. Can you see that's still the green coming off there. I'm going to go along the bottom. I'm going to pop that on there. Let's move it over. I like to keep as much as the writing available as I can. So that is going to go in there. Move it down because I noticed then that it was still too big. Right, so that is there. That is going to go in there. I've got my little, oh, somebody told me what these clips are called. Please refresh my memory. Yeah, because of a sudden now I can't remember what they're called. These little clips. I just can't remember what they're called. Anna at sewing group this week told me 3 times what they were called. I still can't remember, and I hadn't got the nerve to ask her what they were called again. So that's there. That is going in there. In fact, I'm going to cut a little bit of that off. Make it a smaller flash card. I'm going to do this. I'm going to pop that there. Then I want something on here. Stu, pay to the order of. Do we like that? What else have we got? Oh, we've got like a label. In fact, that little label could go in there as well, couldn't it? Yes, because that can be written on at the back. So it could be like a little journaling card in itself. That could go there. That can come there. So I still feel I need something. What's this one? Oh, that looks nice. Do we like that one? Or do we want something circular, a token of love? I still like the red. It just brings that little, well, the pinky red, it brings that little bit of colour. Parisian. I think that's a little bit too big. It's this blue one. See what I mean? The more, yes, I like that one as well. New York, it's a ticket for New York, Brooklyn Bridge. Right, where are we going with this? Are we going here? Or are we going here? New York, Brooklyn Bridge has won. I've been on the Brooklyn Bridge, over the Brooklyn Bridge to the pizza. Was it? Sounds like Garibaldi's. Can't remember what it was called. The pizza, the famous pizza place. Loved it. What amazing pizza. Right, so I'm going to put this on here. So I actually don't want to glue it to there. I just need it glued to around here. So I'm going to pop some glue on. And I'm going to put that there. Should we have tucked that there like that? No, I like it there. I'm going to put that there. Oh, we could do with some across the bottom, couldn't we, as well? Yep. That's going to go there. Let's pop this back on. Let's take those out while that dries. Brilliant. So that is completed. So what I will do is complete this one as well. And then show you again what I've done. Show you what I've done on the video. Okay then, so I'll see you in a moment. Thank you for watching. Let's have a quick look at each of these little notebooks. Here's one of them that I've done today. And on the back, you'll see is my pocket. And I've put some of the Tim Holtz ephemera into there. This is made from dictionary paper, and there's my pieces of paper inside. I think that one is a really, really pretty one. I normally really like natural coloured buttons, as you can see here, but I thought the green went really well on there, the green vintage button. Here is another one that I've done from the Edith Holden book pages. This one has got one of the flashcards and a little calling card on the back. So the flashcard is authentic ephemera, and the little calling card is from the Tim Holtz. Inside again, the papers. Really, really lovely idea, this. And these are all going to go into my journal, The Water Babies. This is today's that I've just made, so you've seen that one. This one, oh, sorry. Oops, that's come off there. That should be stuck on there. I'll have to just re-stick that down. This one is made from handmade paper. So I've had to sort of reinforce this by putting some card there. And I've also put some card under this part that's stapled down. And we've got some vintage satin ribbon that I've previously used. It was in my bits and bobs jar. I've put some fabric on here where I'd printed on fabric in the past. They're just my little scraps, and the word story from the Line Dot Arrow Magical Tea Party range. And in the back here, a little Tim Holtz card from the ephemera pack. Yeah, made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here, this one again is made from the Edith Holden. So in the back here, we've got some of the Tim Holtz ephemera there and there, little journaling cards. Just love these colours. We have got, I've not trimmed this off yet. I was going to trim it off, but actually I quite like it not trimmed off. So here I've decoupaged some tissue on that I'd printed on too. There's a little fairy there asleep. That's why I've put the picture frame around her. There's a little vintage button there. Inside of the papers, space to write here from the Edith Holden. That tucks very nicely into there. And on here, some vintage laces and some of the Tim Holtz ephemera. So these are all going into my Water Babies journal, and I believe that they're very, very pretty, and they're just going to be a fantastic positive contribution. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.